So back to forgiving yourself. I hope that I've explained at least somewhat adequately why it is important to forgive yourself. And there are two distinctly different situations regarding forgiving yourself. One, forgiving yourself for something that you've actually done, that you know you shouldn't have done, that you deeply regret. And another thing, forgiving yourself for something that has been done to you, that you haven't done, but still blame yourself for, or question the situation, or wonder about it, or still reliving it. These are two different things. Either way, both have to be forgiven. So let's talk about first something that you've done. This is something that is very profound. You've done something that you shouldn't have done. And it has caused you, looking back, tremendous pain. What was it? What could it have been? With everything that hasn't been forgiven, done by us or done to us, the list is endless. And we have deemed these things unforgivable. What's unforgivable? In truth, nothing. But in reality of living our lives, we as society and all of us, or most of us, or many of us individually, have deemed so many things to be unforgivable. What are they? Murder, rape, incest, cruelty to children, genocide, crimes against humanity. This list is endless. It is not just long, it's endless. And yet, unless we forgive, freedom from this pain and change will not happen. I will talk about change and why it won't happen without forgiveness later. But let's stay on the subject. Nothing is unforgivable, and everything has to be forgiven, even though we have considered certain things to be unforgivable. The best example is Jesus Christ calling on the Father to forgive those who have inflicted this unimaginable pain. To die on the cross is to die of unutterable, unimaginable physical pain. It doesn't matter whether you're Christian, whether you believe that these were actual events, whether for you this was simply a mythology. It makes no difference. Someone in the midst of horrible pain is calling on the Father to forgive. Why is he doing that? Because he has a profound understanding that those who have done it to him have done it out of their own pain. Something must have happened to them. Some pain had been inflicted onto them that had made them capable of that level of cruelty. And unless this is forgiven, they will continue to perpetuate that behavior. That doesn't make it okay. That doesn't make what we have done or what was done to us okay. It is not an excuse, but it makes understanding and forgiving more attainable. It makes us being able to find compassion. And first and foremost, we have to find compassion to ourselves. If we have done something that we now deeply regret, in so many cases, what most of us do is push it somewhere very far down and refuse to think about it. We call it denial. Denial is very powerful. It cannot be held forever. Sooner or later, this denial will explode, as I said, in the form of illness, in the form of accident, in the form of ruined life, in many forms. Or you will finally tap into the pain and decide to do something about it and start healing it, which is the best way the denial will come to an end. However, this is what so many people do with the pain of the unforgivable, of what they have done. They refuse to think about it, and they tell themselves that it doesn't matter. Or they say that it wasn't such a big deal. It didn't really happen. It wasn't my fault. There are many ways we cope with this pain, and none of them work. And if you're listening to this right now and looking at your relationships, and everything in our life is about relationships, loving relationships one-on-one, relationships with friends, relationships with your work, relationships with your dream, relationship with yourself, I know that if you tell yourself the truth, you will know, you will admit, they're not working the way you want them to work. And this comes back to why we are not happy. This is why we need to forgive. We need to forgive ourselves. We need to start with ourselves, because everything, always, every change has to start with us. If we want to have a better world, we need to create a better inner world. We need to heal us first. So, how do we forgive? How do we begin to forgive ourselves? It starts with telling yourself the truth of what you have done, admitting it, and allowing yourself to feel the pain of it. The pain, the regret, the remorse. Remorse is so unbelievably powerful and so essential in the healing of the soul, in the healing of the pain of our hearts. And yet, most people will rather have their right arm cut off instead of allowing themselves to feel remorse. It is a fascinating phenomenon. It is a phenomenon. It's a human condition. It's interesting to ponder, but it is a fact. Remorse scares people more than anything. And one of the reasons why it is so scary is because we do not want to see how, quote-unquote, ugly we are. And we're not ugly. We've done something ugly, possibly, yes. But it doesn't make us ugly. And so many people are unable to see the distinction.